Could we use synthetic biology to bring back extinct animals like this 19th century moth? Well, scientists have just done it, but there's a catch. In a new study, researchers at the University of California, San Diego, used a combination of genetic engineering and ecological controls to resurrect an extinct species of bee. The catch: it's not actually the same species as the one that went extinct. More on that in a bit. First, some background. This is a small bee known as a digger bee because it makes its nest in the ground, and it is found only in a single location in California where it pollinates the flowers of a rare plant called a sand verbena. But in the 1800s, this bee went extinct due to a combination of habitat loss and pesticide use. And now, thanks to the efforts of a few very dedicated people, it's back. Okay, so how did they do it? Well, to bring back this bee, researchers took a genome from a related species and then used CRISPR to edit the DNA and remove a gene that was different between the two species. They then took this edited genome and inserted it into a closely related bee species, effectively making it a hybrid. And when I say closely related, I mean like cousin, not like uncle and niece. These are bees that can still interbreed in the wild. So by inserting this one edited genome, they created a population of bees that was genetically identical to the extinct species. But wait a minute, you might be thinking, if this bee is a hybrid, does that mean that it has two different sets of genes? One from its mother and one from its father? And if so, couldn't it just pass on the wrong combination of genes to its offspring and revert back to being a different species? That's a great question, and the answer is no. Because when the mother bee passes on her genes to the next generation, she doesn't pass on both sets. She passes on one set, either the one from her mother or the one from her father, but not both. So each zygote gets one edited genome and one unedited genome. But because the bees that were released into the wild were all female, the only genetic contribution they could make to the next generation was the edited genome. So after just one generation, the entire population was made up of the resurrected species. Okay, so we brought back the exact same species that went extinct, except it isn't exactly the same. It has two different genomes, one extinct and one that's still around today. But the extinct one isn't really around anymore because it only exists in this hybrid. So in a way, it's like the bee that could be a kind of Lazarus taxon, like the ones that occasionally show up in the fossil record and seem to disprove the theory of evolution. Except this time it's not a fossil, it's a living, breathing, digging bee. So is this the start of De-Extinction? Maybe, but whether we should bring back other extinct species is a complicated issue with lots of ethical, ecological, and even moral questions. So maybe we should start with something a little less controversial, like bringing back that moth.